YouTube. I'd like to welcome everybody back and just welcome to all the new viewers. I am Junior and we're going to get right started away. Just going to comb my client's hair out. Combing the hair just gets you ready to lay the good foundation and set you up for your haircut. This is where it starts. This is going to determine how good your haircut is going to come out to be. The foundation. All right, next I'm about to create my ball guideline, starting with the 000. And I think I'm going to use the detachable Supras, this whole cut for this haircut tutorial. So this is a kind of a combination of a mid fade and a drop fade, because I am dropping it lower in the back. He specified that he did not want me to touch the majority of the top of his head. He just wants me to basically give him a nice fade, level up the sides and the front, but leave the center, because he's either going to do braids or he's going to have his hair twisted. What I'm doing, just making sure that that line is nice and even and symmetrical on both sides, as you can see. All right, moving along. Now I'm about to start my debulking. This will be probably the highest guard I use. No, I'm gonna use a number 2 guard, but this guard is a 1.5 guard. I'm probably going up a full 2 inches. I'm starting right at the ball line I just put in, and I'm going right up to his crown or parietal ridge area. So on this haircut, I'll be blending down or fading down. I start on one side, work my way to the back, and I work my way to the opposite side. Yeah, that's about 2 inches, or maybe a little more. But yeah, as far as his fade, this will be the biggest guard I use, the 1.5. I decided I wanted to move it up a little bit at the back. Because as you're setting in your guidelines, you're sculpting, and well, at least this is what I do. I'm visualizing, okay, how's this gonna look in the end? I want it to look decent with its head shape. So that's why I decided just to move up a little bit more in the back. And I'm just thinking also for the days when he wants to wear it in his natural state like this, this is one good look for him. When he does braid his hair, that's going to be another look. And if he twists his hair, that's another look. Okay, I just switched blades. I switched to my 1A blade. And all I'm doing now, I'm just blending and I'm just fading down. All right, now just switch to my number 1 guard. And notice I'm not going anywhere near the bulk of his hair. I'm just blending out the hair right underneath. And I'm giving you real-time speed. Comment below if you want me to speed it up. I can. I just want the viewers just to see me in real time and just to see as I make adjustments on the fly and just put you in my eyes. Just visualize that what I'm doing is you and that's your hands. I don't know if you notice, I have the camera on my chest, so I am going to give you another view coming up shortly to really put you in a first player type of mode, just so you can see what I see. So as I'm cutting, I don't know if you are noticing that I'm just using the corners for the most part. And one thing about when using detachable blades, the blades, when they're set correctly, they blend right into each other. So it's really no guessing. Like with the adjustable clippers, sometimes you have to guess, okay, should I put it in on this notch or should I put it in the middle? Should I open up all the way? With the blades, you just, as long as you're stretching the skin, using the corners, you're good. All right, again, I'm coming down. So I started 1.5, 1A. That was the number 1, going into this blade right here, the 0A blade. And I'm almost where I started, because remember, the ball line was put in with the 000. So this blade is going to blend out the previous line, and it's going to also soften up going into the 000. Sometimes I can take the line out completely that I put in with the 000 with the OA blade, and other times I might have to come back with my adjustable just to get that line out. It all depends on how hard I pressed and put it in. But you can see that fade is coming together. And my motion never changes. I'm using either the left corner of the blade or the right corner, as you can see. With blades, the only time I really use the full blade is when I'm getting up to the bulk. Right there, as you can just see, I'm using the corner. And the hair at the bottom, it doesn't bother me because honestly, it's going to be shaved off. So I usually just shave it off at the end. It kind of slows me down when I try to bald out. And sometimes it makes me raise up my fade and my blend. So that's another reason why I leave that hair at the bottom underneath my first guideline like I do. All right, clipper over comb with the detachable blade. So what I'm using, because I want to still keep a lot of his hair darker on the sides, I'm using the number 1 guard. And I'm just not going in too deep. I'm sticking the comb inside, rolling it back towards myself, and I'm just removing all the hair that's in between the teeth of the comb. And just take your time as you're doing this. Now sometimes I do use a 000 but I didn't want to remove too much hair, so that's why I'm using the number 1. I know you see that hair in the back. Don't worry about it. I will come back and take care of it when I detail. All right. Now this is my biggest guard, the number 2. Now all I'm doing now is just shaping up his sides in the front. I don't know what we were watching on TV. We were watching some movie. That's why I paused like I did. I think we're either watching Suicide Squad or Ready Player One. We're watching HBO Max, I know that. Now every now and then your client, they may drift off on you a little bit with their head, but you just got to redirect them, and like I just did, and just had him hold his head up straight, and we get back to work. I'm not digging in, as you can see, I'm just going straight up. Now I'm just trying to get the hair around his parietal ridge or crown of his head to blend in with the top hair, so it can be a nice or a smoother transition. So it just won't look like skin and hair. I like to see a transition. Because I want you to see my blend from a distance and definitely when you get close. Alright, then I'll just switch to the 1.5 blade. Again, still detailing the crown area of his head. Just making sure it's a nice smooth transition. But I just love cutting hair, whether I'm using detachable blades or the adjustables. I love cutting hair because it's like a mystery or a jigsaw puzzle, and you're just trying to come up with the best result and put the hair back together again, because you're breaking it down and then you're just creating something. You're just, as a barber, you're an artist. And your client is your canvas. And I just love creating. Still using the corners, nice, soft, gentle strokes. The blend is coming together. It's looking like how I want it. It's almost to the point where I'm ready to release him or just move on to the next section, which of course would be the edge up. And in my room, I have lights on top of me, and I have a light behind me and a light in front of me. I'm just trying to see all angles. The better the lighting that you have, the more detail you can get on the cut. So now I'm just about to move on to the front of his head. Because I always ask my clients when their hair is long like his, hey, do you want it to overhang or not? And he told me, no, just go ahead and shape the front as well. So that's what I just did, just shape the front. All right, like I said, sometimes I can remove the 000 line with the OA, but sometimes I can't. So now I have the outliner blade similar to the T outliner. It's probably not as close because this is factory set, but it's going to get the job done. So it's a little faint line that I see, and I'm just going to remove that line. That's the line I first put in with the 000 that I'm removing with this outliner. And I'm still just using the corner. You don't want to use the full blade because then you can potentially make another line. And if you don't have an outliner blade, you can always use your trimmer. Or if your adjustables are 0 gap, you can use those to get out of that final line to take care of it. Just whatever you use, as long as the blades are close enough to remove that hard bald line, you should be okay. And just make sure you use the corners. Moving right along to the edge up. Me, myself, I often struggle with the vertical bar. I know most barbers not going to admit it, but I will. The vertical bar is tricky. On every client is different. Some clients, their box or their vertical bar is a lot smaller, and you just have to make adjustments with it. And that's why I always start with the vertical bar. And as you can see, I turned them towards me, and I thought my camera was up a little bit higher, but you still can see what I'm doing, just to give you a different view so you can see what I see as I'm doing this edge up. And trust me, the more videos I do, the better quality of camera and camera angles will come. I'm a work in progress. Shout out to all the YouTube barbers that have been doing this for years. Man, I wholeheartedly salute you guys. Y'all make this look so easy. It's one thing, to cut and to be judged by millions, but it's another thing to try to get the perfect lighting, the perfect camera angle, even the music that's playing in the background, to try to sound knowledgeable of the cut and the angle and the stroke and everything. It's a lot of hard work goes into this, and I salute the guys, the pioneers that's been doing this for years, man. Y'all make this look so easy, but it's really not. But like I was saying, I start on the sides or the vertical because that's usually the part I struggle with. So I try to knock that out first. So what I've been doing to help me with that, I use my comb. I try to use a reference point. I try to use either the eyebrow or the corner of the eye to help me with that line. Sometimes I even use my thumb. Just whatever you can do to get that line straight, you have to do it. Most barbers that care, the biggest fear is pushing somebody's edge up back. Or if you're not paying attention, hitting somebody's eyebrow. And it happens. I'm telling you, because it happens. I've done that. Yes, I will admit, I've pushed someone's edge up back. But I'm man enough to tell the client, hey man, I pushed it back a little just to make it symmetrical. And sometimes they're okay with it. And I also follow up, hey, in a couple days, come back and see me, The grow back is not gonna be too great, and then I fix it. Some people will respect that and they'll come back and give you another opportunity to correct it. Others will be like, nah, I'm good. You messed my edge up. So you just have to own up to your mistakes too. Now the top line, that's fairly easy. If you start in the center, use the nose as your guide, and then just work your way slowly to the left or to the right, whichever one you're more comfortable doing. But those sides, the side line, side bar, vertical bar, whatever you call it, wherever you're from, that's what get a lot of barbers in trouble. Sometimes it's slanted, sometimes it's straight up, sometimes, I've seen all type of weird side edge ups. Just take your time, man. Take your time. I've seen a lot of guys give people over exaggerated C cups. I mean, I've seen it all because I used to work at a barber shop, barber college. Now I'm in my own suite, and I've seen it all. So that's why I take my time when I do my edge ups. The client, they're going to respect you. Of course, you don't want, when I say take my time, I don't take 20 minutes to do an edge up. I'm just saying, just don't rush. That's the worst thing you can do. A reasonable amount of time on an edge up could be 3, maybe 4 minutes. Now, of course, it's taking me longer because I'm doing this tutorial, so I'm trying to make sure I have every possible angle covered by the camera that is straight, because I know the comment section can be brutal and relentless if I mess this man edge up and post it on YouTube. So that's why it's taking me so much longer now. Normally it doesn't take me this long to do an edge up. And like I said in my other videos, I am not team no enhancement. I use enhancements, and it's just, if the client doesn't ask for it, I don't give it to them. But if they ask for it, of course I'll give it to them. And this client did not ask for it. And I always ask my clients before I start, hey, do you want any enhancements? And they'll tell me then, okay, or yes, go ahead and do it. And yeah, we go from there. On my next video I drop, I'm gonna make that one an enhancement video. Just to show you guys, I use enhancements. I don't see anything wrong with it. Because just like the word, it enhances the cut. And when it's done properly, sometimes you notice it, sometimes you don't. I like to do my enhancements where they're not noticeable. I like the mystery of it. I don't like to lay it on so thick where you're like, man, his beard looks like you put a magic marker or a Sharpie on it, or his edge up look like you ran a Sharpie across it. I like to use subtleness when I'm doing my enhancements. All right, so now I switched to my adjustables. I'm just detailing, open and close. Still see a couple of areas that I wanted to make some minor adjustments to, but the cut is pretty much, it's in there. And if I feel like this is not to my standards, then I'll put a number 1 guard on, which I believe I am going to do. And even when I put the number 1 guard on these adjustables, I'm still going to go open to close using the corners. So I appreciate everyone that's been watching these videos. I'm trying my best to keep providing you with content weekly. I'm getting a whole lot better with my lighting, with my camera work, and just hanging there with me. And I appreciate everything, all the feedback, whether it's positive or negative. I appreciate it all. I got thick skin, and I know somewhere inside of that comment I can learn from it. Once again, this is a mid fade, possibly combo drop fade, Client did not want me to touch the top. We will not be sponging it. He's going to keep it his natural afro state. He told me he's either getting braids or twists. He hadn't decided once he leaves, so he just wanted me to shape the sides and the front and leave the center part or the mohawk part alone. So that's what I did. Thank you guys for watching. This is Junior, and I'm out of here. Peace.